Welcome to this presentation titled Impact of Decol Thinking Conceptual Training Model on Teachers' Wait Time Management and People Length of Self-Expression in the Classroom in Jos South Plateau State, Nigeria, in West Africa. The authors are Mrs. Grace Cholom and Professor C.T.O. Akinmade of University of Jos in Nigeria, West Africa. The current emphasis on pedagogy in science classroom is not limited to learning of concept, principles, laws, theories, but it also includes the development of thinking, in which activity-oriented science lessons that are driven through the use of productive management of wait time to promote thinking and student self-expression during science classroom interaction. Productive management of wait time of teachers include wait time management of wait time 1, which is a wait time teachers allowed after asking a question before they select a people to respond to the question. This act gives every people opportunity to process, retrieve information, prepare themselves ready to answer the question before a teacher chooses one of these people to respond to the question. The act also helps people to monitor the response given by the student asked to respond on the question. The second management of productive wait time is the people respond post time. This is a time when people are responding to a question. Sometimes they pause by keeping quiet. The pause does not really mean that the student have ended the response, but it most of the time means the people need to retrieve more information in order to add up to the one he has given, or to reverse, change the information entirely when the people discover that the earlier information is not providing the correct response to the question. The third management of wait time principle, productive management of wait time principle, is the wait time 2, which is a time a teacher allows after a people have stopped responding to a question and before he react to the response of the people or appoint another people to help. All these three management of wait time principles are very effective, and they promote self-expression of people when responding to teachers' question. How are science classroom teachers management of wait time principles in Nigerian primary schools? Research have shown that basic primary school teachers use predominantly lecture methods and ask questions that require specific right answers. They therefore give little or no time for students as wait time principle. This act do not allow students to give constructive or correct response to teachers' question. And the question one will ask is, how will these questioning behaviors be improved? The behaviorists are of the promise that through conditioning, human behaviors can be improved into desirable patterns. Therefore, the questioning behaviors of primary school teachers in Nigeria are likely to improve if they are exposed to a behavior modification training program. The problem. Research have shown that basic primary school teachers ask predominantly lecture method with little or no questions, and when they ask questions that require specific right answers. The research have also shown that basic science teachers in Jos South local government are deficient in the management of wait time principle. It is against this backdrop that this study is designed to determine the effect of a Decol thinking conceptual training model on people's self-expression. In specific terms, The study will determine people length of self-expression to teachers' question. It will determine the frequency of teachers' unproductive management of wait time and determine the effect of the Decol thinking conceptual training model on people's self-expression. Two research questions were guided these studies, and one null hypothesis was tested at 0.05 level of significance. The methodology. The study employs a pure experimental pre-test, post-test, controlled, randomized group design. Eight teachers and 120 pupils were used for the study. The pre-test study was conducted to determine the baseline data on teachers' unproductive questioning behaviors and people length of self-expression to teachers' question. After the baseline data were determined, the control group were not exposed to the training, while the experimental group were exposed to the training. The Decol thinking conceptual training model is a behavior modification training program that is designed to train both teachers and people to improve wait time principle and improve people's self-expression to teachers' question. The model creates awareness to teachers and people on their teaching and learning goals. The model also uses improvised instructional material to give both teachers and people activity-oriented science lessons that are driven through asking good quality questions, and that will promote a level of self-expression of people. The research assistants, 4 research assistants were trained for this on how to use the digital recorder in order to record classroom interaction between teachers and pupils, and how to use the Cool Edit program in the computer to measure accurately teachers' wait time principle and people length of self-expression in the classroom. The results. The pretest result shows that the percentage of teachers unproductive questions were 72%, and the length of people's self-expression to teachers' question was 1.2 seconds, which is considered too short. After the training, the post-test results showed a decrease in the percentage of teachers unproductive question from 72% to 54%. The null hypothesis, the null hypothesis was tested. The result of pretest hypothesis shows that the calculated chi-square was 0.1, which is less than the table chi-square of 3.84. Therefore, the result provides no evidence to reject the null hypothesis. After the training, the chi-square was the result was subjected to chi-square at 0.05 level of significance. The result shows that the calculated chi-square was 116.3, which is greater than the calculated chi-square of 3.84. The result shows enough evidence to reject the null hypothesis, which shows that the Decol thinking conceptual training model has improved the quality of the unproductive wait time management of teachers' question, as well as people length of wait time. It was recommended that both teachers and people should be exposed to the Decol thinking conceptual training model to improve their wait time management principle, which is very useful in promoting people length of self-expression. I thank you all for listening.